Europe investment package, which was announced at the 6th EU-AU summit in February. It will promote trade and investment accompanied by trade-related development cooperation, thereby further deepening the economic ties between EU, Kenya, boosting sustainable economic growth, and enabling us to create more jobs. It will also provide new opportunities for Kenyan and European businesses, including those in the micro, small, and medium enterprise space. Even though the negotiations are now concluded, it is important to note that the chief negotiators will now lead their teams in finalizing the text and proceed to initiate the procedures that culminate in ratification and eventually entry into force of the agreement. I call upon them to move with speed, the same speed. Maybe you can accelerate a bit so that this agreement can be implemented beginning next year. The EU-Kenya Economic Partnership Agreement also anchors a framework which enables us to direct our strategic focus towards tackling climate change and further commits the parties to take active measures to promote sustainable trade. I look forward to deepening the partnership between Kenya and the European Union in signaling to the world that trade and investment must not imperil the planet and can rather save it. The agreement will facilitate the achievement of Kenya's ambition to transition to the green economy, and we will deepen trade and trade-related policy measures that will create a supportive business ecosystem for Kenyan firms to participate in sustainable global value chains. In addition, Kenya now has further impetus to tap into sustainable global value chains, invest in competitiveness for sustainable manufacture of high-value products, accelerate technology acquisition as well as innovation for product development, widen opportunities available in green finance and investment, and strengthen our framework for export trade, including recalibrating our foreign trade and commercial service sector to align it with emerging export opportunities. Under our bottom-up agenda for economic transformation, we are committed to enhance our manufacturing share as a percentage of GDP and also lift our exports to GDP ratio. This is the purpose of our flagship, the county aggregation and industrial parks, to be established in our 47 counties. And already 14 of those county aggregation and industrial parks have already been advertised. The others are on the way. And added on to the ecosystem we want to build around consolidating our products around our county aggregation and industrial parks, we are also establishing at least a market in each of our 290 counties and establishing a market in each of our municipalities in the country. In essence, we have an ecosystem of an extra 400 markets around Kenya that will be used for the consolidation of our products so that traceability, so that value addition, agro-processing can be brought into that ecosystem. And I want to thank the EU for agreeing to partner with us in that space of ensuring that we have an ecosystem that will support our farmers to aggregate their products so that we can engage in value addition, we can do processing, and we can export our products processed and create jobs locally. To facilitate the uptake of opportunities made available under the new agreement, the government remains committed to continuous implementation of the business climate reform agenda and to sustain our position as a continental leader in institutional evolution. For instance, you are aware of the steps we have taken to automate 7,000 government services. I think 5,000 will be complete by the end of this month, to make it much more easier for citizens to access government services and for investors and entrepreneurs to do business with Kenya. I want to thank EU again for the partnership we have in this space of ensuring that technology is centralized in the delivery of our trade and our government services. I therefore wish to call upon you to work with us to sustain our partnership and collaborate in proactively translating the opportunities unlocked by this agreement into tangible outcomes that actualize sustainable development. As I conclude, I wish to reiterate our commitment as the Government of Kenya to continue collaborating with the EU and the private sector as we walk this journey towards building a stronger partnership. I look forward again to a conversation with the EU Parliament later this year on the big subject of what we can do together, sustainable agriculture, managing climate crisis that we have, and a candid discussion on a new partnership agreement around our international financing or financial architecture. We will be having that conversation later this week in Paris, and I look forward to an engagement in Brussels later this year. And I have already invited the EU Vice President to come for the Africa Climate Summit in September this year, so that we can consolidate our thoughts as a continent, share them with the rest of the globe as we go to the UN General Assembly and eventually to COP28. Thank you very much for coming for this great ceremony. Congratulations to all the good people, all the hardworking people that have put this agreement that is in many pages together, and for allowing us, those who did the least, to take the credit.